Let us begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes can determine the results. During the trial, you must argue amongst yourself on who you think killed the victim of this case. But like participating in debates and stuff, going over many topics and all the sorts. While trying to find out who the killer is. And once you all come to a definitive conclusion, you must put your unanimous decision to a vote. If you guess the culprit correctly, then they will receive punishment and you will all continue your lives here at the Hope Cultivation Center. However, if you vote for the culprit incorrectly, then I'll punish everyone besides the Blackened, and they'll have the right to leave this place while the rest of you die.
And you're sure the culprit is one of us?
Of course! I swear on despair!
Damn it, I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case. But, why? I just didn't want to believe anyone among us would kill Waddle Doo.
Now then, do we have any questions before the trial begins? Like, any lingering thoughts?
I actually have a question.
Ooh, the detective making the first move. Ooh, what's your question?
It's the matter of accomplices.
Ooh, what a very interesting question. I guess it's relevant to bring this up in the first trial anyway.
Wait, what's an accomplice?
You idiot, do you really not know what that is? If you don't know what that simple thing is, you should just pack up and leave the courtroom.
Alrighty then. No, you dumbass, stay!
To put it bluntly, Maya's implying that if we're allowed to have someone to help with the murder.
Oh, like an assistant?
You could put it like that.
Well, wait, you think someone helped the culprit kill Waddle Doo?
No, well, not yet anyways. I just want to know the rules regarding the accomplices. If they're allowed, or if they graduate with the black, and if they do complete the trial successfully.
Did I mention this in the rules? I don't remember. But I guess to answer the question, it's both a yes and no question.
Stop being confusing and just give us the damn answer, you damn bear.
Fine. The yes to the answer is yes, there can be accomplices. But the no to the answer is no, they do not graduate along with the Blackened.
I see. So, there can be accomplices, but they would get nothing from helping the culprit. Alright, I get it. So wait, Mighty, you think there's an accomplice in this case? Too soon to say. I just wanted to get that out of the way so we can know who we can trust and who we can't.
The trial hasn't even started yet. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I don't think you have the right to be telling the detective get ahead of himself. He might have already solved the case.
If he has, just say who the culprit is and let's get on with this.
I don't know who the culprit is. That's why we need to discuss it and start the trial properly.
Yeah, Maggie's right. Like Hackett said, I don't want to be here, and, well, it's getting uncomfortable.
You're sitting on a carpet! You should be comfy!
Yeah, on hard floor. Go and sit on that chair.
Speaking of, why don't we have chairs? We're just sitting on the floor.
Stop ruining the immersion! Are you ready to start the trial yet or what?
Yeah, we might as well be ready. I'm ready to begin, Monokuma. Are you all?
Might as well. We have to do this for Waddle Doo.
I have no personal preferences or gripes with starting now, so let's start. Excellent! So let the first class trial commence!
Alright, the first class trial has begun. Still, I can't believe Waddle Doo's really gone. He was my best friend here. And now he's dead. I'll figure out who did this to you, buddy. I promise.
So, where do we begin? I've never been to court before.
Well, this isn't a traditional court case. For example, there's lacks of actual detectives, a judge.
Aren't you the ultimate detective? And as for the judge, then what have I done to you? Chopped the liver?
You might as well be. You know who the culprit is and you're not telling us.
Because then it wouldn't be a fun killing game anymore. It would just be boring courtroom drama. We're getting off topic here. We need to discuss about Waddle Doo's murder.
Fine then where's a good place to start?
I think that maybe the cause of death should be something we should talk about first. Yes, marvelous idea, Luigi. Sounds like a good place to start, Sandy, and it'll be easy too.
Easy is putting it lightly. Hopefully, though, it will be easy, as our first topic of discussion has begun.
So our first topic of discussion is what'll do's cause of death.
Alright, well, that should be pretty easy, right? No, it's a more complicated topic than you may think.
Huh? What are you talking about? I agree with Ray.
I mean, it was pretty obvious that he was stabbed to death, right?
No, that's wrong!
Hold on, Taranza. I don't think his cause of death was stabbing. What the fuck? Dude, he had like a giant stab in the middle of his eye! Yeah, Chris, I agree with Taranza. I think the stab wound was what killed him. That is what I thought too at first, but not after I saw the Monokuma file and saw the autopsy report made by Zelda.
The what now?
Oh, yeah, you weren't there for that. To sum it up shortly, I don't think the stab wound's what killed him. It wasn't that deep to begin with. The stab wasn't that deep? Who cares? It was still in his fucking eye! You know, that is a good point. Despite it not being that deep as you say, it could have been more fatal to him since it was right through his eye. No, I don't think so. Once again, I'm not a medical practitioner or any type of medical expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But at most, I think it would just blind him. Or at the very most, prevent him from ever using that eye again. I see. So maybe that was the culprit's true goal with the knife.
Oh, you're saying they stabbed him to make sure he couldn't see? I have to admit, that's pretty clever.
Like something out of a horror movie, like Friday the 13th. Maybe the killer is Jason.
Who is Jason already?
Well, if we're all in agreement that it was just that the knife wasn't what killed him and the stab wasn't what killed him, sorry, I didn't mean to derail the conversation. It's fine, Taranza. We should have gone over it at that first anyway. It took you this long to figure that out. I had already figured that out.
What?
Shiro, if you had already figured that out, then why didn't you share with the group? Honestly, I don't care whether you guys die or live. I just prioritize my own life. If you prioritize your own life so much, then you should have shared it. Whether me sharing it or not reveals anything. You guys should have known that already.
Yeah, I mean, plus, he only had one stab wound in that 28.
Callie, can you please not make references of time like this?
Okay, I'm sorry.
But in all seriousness, there's no need to be so rude, Shiro.
Whatever.
So the knife isn't what killed him then, if we're assuming the stab wound isn't what killed him then. But then it starts to get a bit confusing.
Huh? What are you referring to, Hat Kid?
Why did the culprit only stab him once? If they had blinded him with a knife, then they could have kept stabbing him.
That's actually a pretty decent point.
If your intention was to kill, and the first blind them, and then kill them, then I guess you would stop at just one stab wound.
So why did the killer only stop at the one stab wound?
Let's talk about that later when it becomes relevant. For now, let's talk about Waddle-Doo's other wound. His other wound? Oh right, his head injury. He had a head injury? Yes, except the thing about that is, though it did draw blood, it also wasn't that fatal. His skull wasn't even fractured. What the fuck? If both wounds weren't fatal, then what killed him? That's what I want to know. I also want to know what weapon caused that big wound on his head. I mean, there was nothing like that at the crime scene or anywhere else we investigated, right?
Not that I remember.
Nope. We searched everywhere mostly. There was nothing that was either bloody or looked like to have been washed. I see. So I guess we'll just come back to the wound when it comes into play. Right. We wasted our time with useless information. Next topic, please. Would you just stop acting like a smart-ass Shiro?
Okay. Putting that drama aside, I do agree with her. Let's go on to the next point of discussion, which I would like to go as far as to say we should discuss the victim himself.
The victim himself? What do you mean? We already know that the victim is Waddle-Doo.
That's not what I mean. I mean, why was he in the talent development room?
You know, speaking of which, didn't Waddle-Doo, pass out or something? Yeah, the little dude, passed out after he saw the motive video thing. And then, didn't y'all take him in his room? Yes, maybe did, but...
Wait, if that's the case, isn't it possible he died in his room and was moved to the talent development room?
What? That is indeed a possibility.
A possibility, yes. But is it possible as of right now? I don't think so.
Even if it was possible, weren't we all standing outside Waddle-Doo's room? Why would the killer have killed him when we were all out there? And who even went into Waddle-Doo's room again? I know I didn't.
It was Chris, Zelda, and Tarantula. They went in, so one of them is probably the killer.
What? Huh? What the hell? She knows I'm not the killer. Why is she accusing me? Honestly, the crime taking place in his room theory, it sounds plausible. So, go on, defend yourselves. Are you serious? Then what? You make absolutely no sense. Then that would imply they're all working together to get out of here.
Yeah, and Zelda would never do that.
I'm not saying they all work together at that point. I'm just saying one of them must have snagged Waddle-Doo's e-handbook, and then must have used it to get back in later. No, Shiro, that's not the case, because... I got it. Waddle-Doo's e-handbook was still on his person. Even if you say that the culprit must have taken it, and planted it there later, they wouldn't have been able to get it back on his person. It looked like it was on the whole time. So I don't think...
You miscalculated.
Huh? That doesn't disprove the fact that it could have taken place in his room still. The culprit could have made it look like it was on his person the whole time. That's weak evidence at best. Weak evidence? Shiro, you're making no sense. If there really is no proof, if there really is proof, then prove it to me. Fine. Guess I'll have to prove it. Or else we'll be running around in circles. You said the only piece of evidence that the crime could have not taken place in his own room was because that he had his handbook on him at all times, right? Well, simple. The culprit could have planted it on him to make him look innocent. It's not just that, though. There's another big piece of evidence that proves why the crime couldn't have taken place in his room. Really? Because I don't see any evidence. The culprit and him must have gotten into a tussle in his room, making a big bloody mess.
Allow me to cut through those words.
His room was a mess? I don't think so. His room was practically clean when I went in during the investigation. Well, the culprit could have just cleaned it up. You think they spent the whole night committing a murder in his room and then cleaning up the blood, moving his body, fabricating evidence? That's stupid, Shiro. You're right, that is stupid. The crime couldn't have taken place in his room. Wait, what? What the f- You were the one making the argument! I was just testing. It's obvious the crime didn't take place in his room.
Ooh, I can't wait to vote your ass as the culprit. I know it's you.
Sorry, but I didn't kill the little brat.
I am going to enjoy killing you.
Taranza, calm down. We don't know she's the culprit yet.
And if you'll let me explain, I think I have the next point to discuss.
You know what? No. I'm done with this. Let's just vote her and get on with this.
Excuse me?
Come on, it's obvious to everyone, right? She's the one who kept shitting on Waddle-Doo.
To be fair, Shiro shat on most of us, so...
That doesn't matter. She shat on Waddle-Doo one of the most. So I know she's the killer. I just know she's guilty.
Sorry, Taranza. As much as Shiro's frustrating me, I know she's not the culprit, and there's a reason for that. It's obvious that Shiro's the culprit. Out of everyone she bullied, she frightened Waddle-Doo the most. That would give her the most motive to kill him. Calling me spitting facts is not a motive. Try harder. And plus, don't you think it's a bit too soon to label her as the culprit? I mean, there's not really any evidence that proves she's innocent.
No, that's wrong!
I'm sorry, but there is evidence that proves she's innocent.
There is? What are you talking about?
The body discovery announcement. That's what proves they're innocent. Finally, someone brought it up. You mean that weird announcement thing? Yes, according to Monokuma and the rules, it only goes off when 3 innocent people discover the body. It went off after Papyrus found it first, Shiro found it second, and I found it third. It did? I don't care! What was she even doing out there that early anyway? I bet she's an accomplice in all of this. Do you really think I would work with any of you? Like, honestly.
She does raise a compelling point.
Tyranta, just calm down. Shadow's innocent, so let's just drop it for now.
Fine. I don't like it, but guess she's innocent. Don't look so down, Tyranta. With this evidence, this also proves Papyrus and Chris's innocence.
Yeah, so let's just calm down for now and get to the next point of discussion.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, now that that's done and over with, what should be our next point of discussion? What Waddle-Doo was doing there in the first place.
Huh? What do you mean?
He was getting fucking murdered, that's why he was there. No, I mean, why was he there? Like we said, he was passed out. So how did he get into the talent development room? I can see Zelda and Callie hesitating. Unfortunately, I'll have to present the evidence. I got it. Actually, according to Zelda and Callie, Waddle-Doo actually did get up. He did?
Guess the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, it was a bit before the nighttime announcement. He had come into the kitchen and wanted to get a snack. And, well, I gave it to him and he just went back.
Makes sense. I mean, he was passed out for most of the day.
Ever since those scary motive videos were revealed. Yes, truly a horrifying sight.
Okay, that explains how he could have went to the talent development room. But now we have to figure out why he went there. I'm gonna be honest. Waddle-Doo isn't stupid. I feel like he wouldn't just go there willy-nilly. He would have to have some kind of reason to go there. Alright, well, what was that reason? What was the reason Waddle-Doo went to the talent development room? Might as well make that our next point of discussion. Why did the one-eyed Cyclops go to the talent development room? He wouldn't just go there without a reason, right?
Perhaps he went there of his own free will.
Maybe he was lured there?
Or perhaps the killer invited him there.
I agree with that.
Mischievous is right. I think the culprit invited Waddle-Doo to the talent development room. Because in his room, I found a note saying to come to the talent development room. I even have it right here on me. You do? Yep, right here.
Ah, so I was right. Classic horror trope.
What is it? You gotta be stupid to go to an obvious death trap. Would you stop insulting him? Well, what were the contents of the notes, Chris? It's simple. It just says for him that the person who wrote this note has something important to discuss with him and to meet at the talent development room at 11:20. 11:20? That's 5 minutes before the crime!
And I guess that would line up with the evidence, too. Wait, hold on, I have a question. When do you think this note was even sent?
Did anyone put that note under Waddle-Doo's door or something?
Not that I remember. Nope.
Neither did I. I see, so they must have found a discreet moment to do it. So, in other words, Waddle-Doo just got the note and went to his demise? I guess so. I guess maybe he thought maybe the note was from one of us. What a despicable thing to do. I wouldn't call that all that despicable. What did you just say? Yes, we now know why Waddle-Doo was in the room now. Is that really true? What are you talking about? Let's backtrack for a second. Let's talk about the weapon that induced his blunt force trauma. Why are we talking about this again? It all makes sense in a little bit. It's obvious if you look at the crime scene and the investigation we induced. What are you talking about? Chris, do you have an idea? I have an idea? No, of course I don't. Let's see. So, guess I have to help you, huh? What do you mean help?
Allow me to point you in the right direction.
Huh? What are you doing, Mighty? I'm helping you see the truth, whether you like it or not. So, let's discuss. Follow my logic, and you'll understand what the weapon that gave him the blunt force was. No bloody weapon was found at the scene. That is correct. But there was also some other things at the scene that could come into question. You noticed it too, right? The moved box thing and the messy couch. Those two things are crucial in finding out what gave him the blunt force trauma. Putting all those pieces of evidence together, it's obvious what happened. Am I right? You know,
I agree with that.
It was a jump from above.
A jump up from above? What are you referring to?
There are many things that can prove this. What I mean by it is that the culprit must have jumped on from the couch onto Wildoo's head, causing his blunt force trauma. Really? And what supports that evidence? The moved ottoman box thing? The messy couch? The culprit must have been running on that, causing the pillows to get all messy, and then jumped on Wildoo's head. And then, once he got hit in the head, his body must have lunged backwards, hitting the ottoman, creating not only that weird patch of blood in the Wildoo's position of the body. It must have that also could explain why the ottoman was moved. The culprit must have trapped Waddledoo there, so they must have moved that ottoman beforehand and lured him right to that specific spot. You're close, but essentially, yeah, that's what I was getting at.
So the culprit jumped on Waddledoo's head, causing his blunt force trauma? Is that really it?
That's the point I wanted to get across. Yeah, right. Useless piece of info. What are you trying to get at here? It's something... You know what? I can't believe you still haven't noticed it yet.
Noticed what?
Why would the killer, who is armed with a knife, go to such a complicated method of inducing blunt force trauma? You know, now that you mention it, we still haven't gone over why they didn't just stab Waddledoo again after they stabbed him the first time. Right, it doesn't make sense.
We get it. What point are you trying to make here?
Unless, if you consider that the person who jumped on him didn't intend to kill him in the first place.
Huh? What are you getting at?
I'll put this bluntly. I think the person who induced the blunt trauma and the person who had the knife were completely different people.
What do you mean, completely different people?
What do you mean? Interesting. I thought about that. Am I the one who's out of the loop?
No, I am too. What's going on?
First, let's start with the kitchen knife. How do you think the cult killer got it?
By going to the kitchen.
Anyone could have got it. However, Callie and, what's-her-face, Zelda, both of them are mostly in the kitchen, so they're like a suspect. Not to mention, Zelda was very frightened when we noticed that it was a kitchen knife stabbed into Waddledoo.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, and that reason is... I got it. The reason's because they noticed it was missing before nighttime, so they thought they could have prevented the murder if they had just said something. Yeah, that's mainly the reason.
Oh, I didn't know.
Wait, if you were in the kitchen at the time of its disappearance, then how do you know who took it?
No, not necessarily. Well, I think I do.
You do?
Well, then spill it. Who killed him? I mean, who took the knife? I'll say one thing, and one thing for certain, though. If the killer's plan went originally as they intended, I think I'd be the one who had that portrait. You know what, speaking of which, what is this portrait doing here? I never even asked at the beginning of this trial.
Damn it! For one thing, not one of you forgot the status quo. To not derail your conversation, it's just a way to let you know that I don't want the victim to miss out on the fun. So yeah, whenever someone dies, their seat will be replaced by a portrait.
What a wonderful way to honor the dead. Alright, anyway, what do you mean, Mighty? Everyone, take a look at this. Too Mighty? What's that? It's a note I found under my bed, under my door before the nighttime announcement. And if you look, it has some compelling evidence. Take a look. I opened the note, and what it said shocked me. I have something important to tell you. Meet me in the town development room at 10:15. Thanks. But it's almost the same thing as Waddledoo's note, except a different time. What are you trying to get out here? Wait, did you even do what this note said? Of course I didn't. It's an obvious death trap. I didn't do it. And according to, if I did do it, I'd end up dead. Mighty, what does this have to do with who took the knife? Do I really have to give any more obvious hints here? Fine, I'll just say it. I investigated a room during the investigation, and when I did, I found that my note matched up with a tear in theirs. What? So you know who the killer is? Who is it? No, I don't know who the killer is. I just know who sent me that note.
Well then, who sent it?
I'll make this easy, because Chris knows. I'll just say this. I only investigated one room during the investigation.
Wow, talk about lucky.
You only investigated one room, but the only room you investigated was You're not saying.
What is it, Chris?
If you really are being truthful and you only investigated one room during the investigation, then the person who wrote that note to you was... It was him. Waddle Doo. He was the one who wrote you that note.
What? What? What?
Yes, I found a teared piece out of his notebook in his room. It matched perfectly with my piece of paper, so it had to have come from his room.
But that's insane, though. There's no way.
Wait, if that's the case, then why did... Wait, no, forget about that. That implies that Waddle Doo took the knife. And there's no proof of that, right?
No, there is. You said you saw Waddle Doo enter the kitchen. That means that he could have taken the knife.
He could have...
No, there's no way Waddle Doo would...
No, I'm not accepting this. Then how about this note here? What do you make of that then? And what about the time differences? The note for Waddle Doo says around his time of death. No, you guys like an hour behind. There's no proof that he was even there around that time.
Well, I can't answer your second question yet. The first one, it's obvious. That letter must have been fabricated.
I mean, this letter's a fake?
I'm not 100% positive it's possible.
Jeez, it took you this long to figure that out.
Shut up! Unless you answer the second question that show proof that he was there around that time, I'm not believing this.
There is proof. I'm sorry, Terrence, but I have to prove it. As much as I don't want to.
You're saying that Waddle Doo was in the talent development room at around 10:20 p.m. or around 10:20 or 10 whatever p.m.? That's impossible!
It's not impossible. Then how about you present the evidence that shows it's impossible? I already know.
Maybe someone saw or overheard something.
I agree with that.
Pachirisu's right. Someone did hear something around that time. Cinnamon cookie.
Huh? Me?
Yeah, you said you went to go get one for Louise at around 10:30 p.m. And you said you thought you heard muttering.
I guess I did, but...
Wait, you were up at that time? What were you doing? That's suspicious!
Luigi asked me to get some water, so I went to go to the kitchen and get him a water bottle. During that time, I heard something that sounded like muttering in the kitchen. Not in the kitchen, in the talent development room. It's pretty close to the kitchen after all. But I didn't pay any mind to it, mainly because it was so late and I didn't want to keep Luigi waiting.
Luigi, how long was he gone for?
It couldn't have been more than a few minutes. And before you say anything, he didn't have any blood on him, so he's not the killer.
I see. Continue.
Wait, how did he not see the culprit or anyone in that room?
Simple. I have the map right here. I went through this way, so I wouldn't have seen anything in the talent development room.
But still, that just proves someone was there. That doesn't mean it was Waddle Doo.
Paranza, I don't want to believe it. I mean, Waddle Doo was my best friend here, and to learn that he was probably planning a murder? That's something I don't want to believe. But all the evidence is leading up to this. Waddle Doo was planning a murder. And if it's right, he was planning a murder in Mighty. Oh my.
Oh, that can't be right. Could it?
However you want to believe it, it's the truth. If I had accepted it, I would have died.
No!
Paranza?
No! I refuse to believe Waddle Doo would even think about committing a murder! Yeah, I can't believe you all would think that!
Exactly! A member of my royal guard would never commit murder! Isn't that right, Chris? Chris?
I hate to say it, guys, but Marty does bring up a good point. I don't want to believe it either, but I think it's true.
Chris! What are you doing?
He's thinking logically. Well, I disagree. Not of the fact that that stupid gal is stupid.
Wait, what's stupid?
But I'm inclined to disagree mainly because that stupid idiot over there, that fumbling buffoon, I doubt he would even consider the possibility of murder. He was too weak-minded.
Being weak-minded is not an excuse. Anyone's capable of killing someone.
Yeah, but Waddle-Doo wouldn't have any reason to try to kill Mighty. And why would he? There's no reason.
Though, there actually could be a motive for him.
What are you talking about?
Oh, gee, it seems most of our opinions are split.
You said it! You said it! You said it!
What did I say?
He's orgasming! Put it!
Ow! No, you dumbass! I'm not orgasming. Stop throwing your peas at me. Then what are you doing?
I'm just excited! Well, Cinnamon here said the good old magic word, split! Which it's time for one thing only. It's time for a scrum debate!
What?
Scrum debate? What in the heck is that?
It's a more phenomenal debate where two sides are pitted against each other and discuss on a topic until one side comes out victorious. And here's what you'll be discussing this time, boing.
Fuck, I said boing again, so the sound effect. Choose the side you want. Go on to this side if you think Waddle-Doo wasn't planning a murder, and go on to this side if you think he was planning a murder. Boo-hoo!
Why would you ever suggest Waddle-Doo was planning on murdering someone? That's completely unsensical. Zelda!
It's not that we want to believe he was planning a murder, except the evidence is there.
What evidence? You can't even prove that he took the knife! Callie!
But the fact that the knife disappeared after he entered the kitchen is suspicious on itself.
We still don't know if that letter was forged or not. We're just going off what that armadillo says.
Mighty! Whether you believe me or not is not up to you. It's up to the evidence to decide on whether you believe me or not. How could someone as dumb as him plan a murder? It's stupid. Cinnamon Cookie!
Waddle-Doo wasn't dumb. He was just scared. And that's not a logical argument, so you can't use that as a rebuttal.
Waddle-Doo was so nice though. He would never kill anyone. Hat Kid!
Anyone can kill someone if given the right motivation.
But what motive could he have had to commit something as bad as murder? I got this! The motive videos. It freaked him out so much. We don't know Waddle-Doo's pain, so maybe the person that was on his video affected him greatly.
Would that really be enough for him to commit murder?
Mischievous!
Though that is possible, there could be one more reason for him to commit murder. And it might be the true reason if we discuss it more.
This is our answer!